On the agenda tonight, we're going back to 2013. We're going to be taking a look at London Grammar, and they're going to be performing Hey Now. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, this particular request was sent in asking me if this performance had any pitch correction in it, and I think this is the problem now with pitch correction in general, is that people are now questioning every single performance that they've ever seen, especially more modern performances, as to whether they have been manipulated from a pitch perspective. So I'm going to be featuring London Grammar tonight, and we'll be analysing it in exactly the same way that we normally do, but we will jump into this performance and see how they get on.
Letters burning by my bed for you here now, and I can feel my instincts here for you here now. By my bed for you here now, here now.
I'm just going to jump in here. As always, there's a link in the description below if you want to watch this video the whole way through without me interrupting it. But, I mean, this is just a great performance to start with because we have dynamic appreciation. We are in such a great place here dynamically. We've got some extreme palm muting going on with the guitar to begin with, which is great. I mean, it's almost at the point where you can't quite even hear the notes, but that leaves you somewhere to go in the whole performance. And this song, and certainly this performance, is all about atmosphere, and we get that with the keys, the intro, and also when the vocal comes in, it's in that very particular place, and it's Hannah Reid on vocals here. And Hannah's voice is so unique as well because she's hitting notes in the verse that are, you know, quite low notes when you consider the range that she does cover and the notes that she's hitting later on then in the performance. But as we listen again, you can hear, obviously it's not low for me because I'm a guy, but you can hear that in her voice, even though it's a low note, she's still getting, now. She's still getting a nice vocal cord connection. And to address the question that came with this particular request about the vocals being pitch corrected, this is not pitch corrected. This is fully live as it was performed. This performance comes from KEXP, the radio show, but the YouTube channel is where this video is and where that link will take you to in the description below. So this is fully as it was when it was recorded, and I mean, Hannah is just super accurate with her vocals, but she's super accurate with her vocals without pitch correction. And there's a huge difference between those two things. So let's just take this as an example, because when we're looking at this from a distance, we can see that she's held a note, applied vibrato, held the note, applied vibrato again. And it will look like it is stuck on that line. But then when we do zoom in, this is what you'll start to notice, that this is not on the line. It is slightly sharp, we then get a vibrato, we then go into that held note again, and we're slightly sharp. We do touch ever so slightly here, but at no point are we on this line for an extended period of time. That can happen now and again with a really accurate voice, but it never happens all the time. When it happens all the time, that is pitch correction. So this is why we analyze things in this kind of detail. Again, up here, if we were to zoom in, you'd see that she's going to be on the note for just a fraction. I say on the note, she's going to be on the line for a fraction of a second. Actually, she's just slightly sharp and slightly sharp. So from a distance, again, it looks like it's on the line, but it's not. So, I mean, it's great that we can zoom in and I can show you the difference between pitch corrected vocals and natural vocals, as these are. But the best note isn't always on these lines. That's the point, that Hannah is just hitting great notes here, and expressive notes as well. And this is the kind of thing that you'll see, again, slightly sharp of the note there, but as far as it's sounding pitch perfect, it sounds pitch perfect. So when you then look at these lines, it is great because it will clarify the fact that it's not pitch corrected. But let's listen on.
Here now, letters burning by my bed for you. Here now.
That's really cool what she does with her voice. I mean, blink and you'll miss it. But these little tail off lines that we get.
Burning by my bed.
My. Yeah, it's a really quick run. I mean, let me slow down the bit that I'm talking about.
By
my. Hopefully you heard those three notes. You're really cool.
Bed for you here now. Leave it to the wayside like you do for you. Imagination calling, mirrors for you here now. Here now.
Listen to the dynamic change in the guitar, the way that a few notes are just being allowed to pop out a little bit, and then we apply that palm mute a little bit more. But when we're looking at these lines on screen, look at the freedom that Hannah's voice has here to go where it goes. This first part of the G4 was slightly sharp, but it's not being snapped down to the note. It means that we get this journey within a held note that, sadly, on recorded releases, on major labels, but just pretty much with everything nowadays, you don't get the live version of it. It's always pitch corrected. But here, yeah, we get a journey within one note. So it's great to hear that. This is what being accurate pitch-wise is. This is what great singers do. Hannah's got a great voice. It's such an emotive voice, but she's got such control that when you plot it out on the graph here, we can see that it's got the freedom to go where it wants to go. The problem is that this has been sent to me with the question, is this using pitch correction? And this is where, it's all up in the air, because you'll get another singer who doesn't have Hannah's ability to hit pitches this accurately, but their voice will be pitch corrected to be on these lines or as close to these lines as they kind of want to get them. So it really is difficult for people to hear the difference. And I think it's getting to the point where people might need to watch these videos to be able to see whether it's pitch corrected or not, because they can't hear it and they don't know the difference. When you can hear 440 hertz, as I can, it just sticks out. As soon as I watch a performance, I'll know if it's been pitch corrected or not without needing to analyze it. But the analyzing helps to show everybody that we are not snapped to lines and that this is a natural voice, but just a really accurate voice. Let's listen on. Even that, these intervals here, just the F4 going down to, and then G4 with vibrato, really cool. These little wobbles, it's almost like we had there, almost a really quick, I'm slowing it down there, but a really quick run within the vocal. I'm going to take it back so we can hear that again. Yeah, it was in there, those 3 notes. Really quick. I mean, it's almost like it's vibrato that's just been allowed to be a little bit looser. And when I said about the range, we've got the C5 here, and when I take it back to where we started, we'll go back to the verse. We had a C4 down here, so that's what I mean. We've covered an octave from the C4 to the C5, and the way that we have that vocal cord connection, like I said, it's really strong at the bottom, but really strong at the top as well. And you kind of get the vibe that Hannah isn't anywhere close to the top end of her range there with that C5. That sounded really easy. I mean, that sounds kind of mid-head voice, if even that. And there's your proof. That is now her head voice being taken higher up to the E5, actually the F5. So yeah, her voice sounded exactly what it was. That was not a high note at all. And now she's taken her head voice up to the F5. It now gives you an appreciation of that range. When I said an octave is here, and now we're going way above that octave and a half here. Again, that's great, the way that we have that freedom at the end just to drift a little bit sharp. You can see it's almost like a U shape with that held note. But by going a little bit sharp at the end, it leaves you in a slightly different place emotionally. And that's what great vocals are all about. That you get the expression of the singer. Whatever happens to their voice is whatever happens, but it allows you to lock into what they are communicating, not only with the lyrical content, but just the sound and the expression of their voice. So yeah, that was great. I mean, just that vocal cord connection, such a clean head voice sound. And another play on.
Wow. London Grammar live on KEXP. That song's very powerful on record, but sitting here in the room hearing that, I'm a little taken aback. Oh, that was incredible.
So there we have it. And I love the reaction of the host there, because that's what live music's all about. It's not pitch corrected. You get to hear the vocal just totally unedited and with all the expression that's in there. And that's the kind of thing that a great live performance can do. It just makes you sit back, and you need time. You need time to absorb everything that's just happened and the emotions that you're feeling and all of these different things. And I mean, it's something that I remember talking about a performance that Morris Hayes had with Prince, and I was in the interview that we've done on the channel with Morris, and he said that Prince would always say, no matter what you're doing, always put in a little bit of show. And I mean, it's a good example here because when the performance finishes, you can see that, you know, he stopped playing and then arms are down by the side and he just kind of looks around. Whereas Morris would say, and Prince would have said, that once you finish playing, you've got to put a bit of drama into it. So maybe close the eyes, put up the head, arms down by the side, and then you're now out of performance mode and we've finished. I mean, this is a really tiny detail, you know, but it's these kinds of things that when you're putting on a performance, the performance lasts as long as the last sound. So you might have an expression pedal with your keys and you've played your final chord, you're holding on the expression pedal so the sound fades out. It's not a sudden ending. And you want your performance to be fading out as well, rather than, oh, I finished performing, but the keys are ringing out again. But there you go, London Grammar performing back in 2013, and they're still going now, so you guys can check them out on YouTube and all of their social sites as well. But thank you guys for requesting this particular video for me to take a look at, and as always, keep the suggestions and requests coming in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As always, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!